What's up, YouTube? King Smog here. I got my devil face on because I'm about to talk about devilish deeds. California had a notoriously overpopulated prison system for quite some time. Now, around 2009 was when the feds went into the California state prison system after receiving numerous complaints from all kinds of prison advocate groups and prisoners inside. Not enough basic human necessities that we are entitled to as human beings. Not enough of those resources. So the feds came in and they agreed, and they told the state of California, check it out, you have to reduce the prison population or we're going to come in. Not because they wanted to, but because they were forced to. Now, let's keep that in mind. California is known to be a liberal state. So you got all these other states and senators and people that are into politics thinking, oh man, well, that's just California. That's how they do it. No. It was only the fact that the feds came in and said, your prisons are so incredibly overpopulated that there is no possible way that you can provide adequate medical treatment to the inmates in here. So the first bill that they passed to reduce the prison population, I believe, was Prop 36. Prop 36 made it so your third strike had to be violent in order for you to get a life sentence. Okay, so there were a lot of people who had crimes that they did from the 70s, 60s, 80s. They had straightened up since then, became straight law-abiding citizens. Once that three-strike system got enacted in the early 90s, they got two strikes all of a sudden, one strike all of a sudden, or holy crap, they got three strikes. But so you do one little thing and it's like mandatory wash up. It was absolutely insane. You had people looking at life sentences for dime bags of dope. And then you had, around the same time, what they called the Realignment Act. I might not be 100% on the timelines, but getting it within a year or two. That was in 2011 or 2012. AB 109 Realignment Act states that any inmate given a strike has committed a crime falls under Penal Code 667.5, which is the law that dictates every single crime that is strike eligible. Now, keep in mind, some of these crimes are wobblers. They can be strikes or they can't be strikes. They can send you to prison or they can not send you to prison, which is a big deal. And it's because if you get sent to prison, it's a lot harder to get your record expunged. Do your time in the county jail, you get off probation, you pay all your fees, and you can get expunged relatively easily. After realignment, we had Prop 47, which decriminalized possession of all drugs, not just marijuana. You can have this amount of heroin on you, you can have this amount of methamphetamine, it will just be simple possession, but any more than that, it'll be considered sales, especially if you get caught with, baggies and a scale and stuff like that. What it also did was, for a felony to occur, raise the grand theft monetary level to $950. Now, the prison population has been reduced, and the Correctional Officers Union, one of the most powerful unions in the state of California, is pissed off. So now they're doing something that is absolutely detestable, yet it is typical cop behavior. They are perpetuating the same cycles of ignorance and violence that they are paid to keep at bay, and at best, possibly temporarily, in maybe permanently eradicate. They are integrating general population and protective custody population inmates together on the same yard for the purpose of offering quote-unquote rehabilitative services. And if no other prison channels are going to talk about it, then King Smog's going to talk about it. These yards have already been established. They are called non-designated programming yards. What are non-designated programming facilities? I'm reading it straight from the CDC website, verbatim, and I quote, non-designated programming facilities are facilities that house inmates together, regardless of their designation. Sensitive needs yards, SNY, aka PC, protective custody, or general population, GP, in order to provide greater access to self-help, educational, vocational, and rehabilitative programs. The department is doing this as one of the efforts to focus on an inmate's rehabilitation while safely housing them in the least restrictive facilities possible. These facilities are intended to provide an environment focused on positive rehabilitative programming for inmates who abstain from violence. No program shall segregate inmates based on prior SNY or GP housing status. Come on, man. You know that's not gonna happen. Come on. Really desperate to get our, rehabilitative services provided, vocational programs, job training, and certification classes, and GED preparation classes that we're going to sit next to a protective custody inmate just to get them. No, that's not going to happen. An active gang member is not going to sit next to an inactive gang member. An inactive gang member is going to be scared to sit next to an active gang member. I mean, come on. This is just a blatant recipe for violence, and it is a disgusting way for the COs who have been losing their jobs because the prison population has been decreasing. It is a way for them to promote and secure job growth. Here's the thing, right? I'm all about rehabilitative services and offering classes on the yard, anything that'll get these guys from coming back. The reality is, how much do the COs really want the recidivism rate, which is rate of people reoffending, to lower? They really don't, because that is their job is based on people going to prison. I always thought it was really weak, man, that none of these prison channels ever bothered to cover this. I mean, what has occurred is groundbreaking news. You'll find plenty of prison channels out there like 23andOne, Fresh Out, Big Herc's interviews. What they do, 23andOne, Big Herc, and other channels, is they'll take ex-cons that did time in California prison, and they'll basically talk about the prison politics in there. Pretty much, make money and exploit the California prison politics. They need your guys' platform, sort of like an SOS. Hey, help us. Look, this is what the COs are doing. It is a blatant way for them to just promote job growth and secure the jobs that they currently have, and to prevent any more of their jobs being cut. I think that speaking on YouTube channels with millions of viewers, to get this word out to the masses, to shed light on the atrocities of the non-designated programming yards, the atrocities on both sides, all right? The atrocities that the inmates are facing, the atrocities that the COs are facing when they get attacked by the inmate during a riot, or when the inmates decide, hey, you know what, we're going to get off on the cops, because I guarantee you that will happen. Once it goes to a level 3 or 4, they're just going to start going off on the cops. What about the correctional officers' families? What about the correctional officers' friends? What about their futures? What about their lives? What about their kids? But at the end of the day, they're the ones that are really, truly benefiting from it. So, I mean, if they're willing to take that kind of a risk just for job security, I mean, either way you look at it, lives are going to inevitably be lost. People are going to get hurt. I mean, nothing good is going to come out of it. And if any good does come out of it, will eventually be in a period of years and years, when the institutionalization and the politics have kind of dwindled away out of the California prison system. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. So anyways, all I'm asking these big YouTube prison channels to do is to give this issue a platform, because if you guys are going to exploit California prison politics, then you also need to address issues in California penitentiaries. And this is by far the biggest issues that the California prison system is faced with right now, is figuring out how they're going to operate these non-designated programming yards.
Alright guys, so I was wrong. 23-1 did say something about the reintegration of general population and PC inmates in California state prisons. However, he just went live one time, and I think this is something that they should be bringing up on a regular basis. Okay, like, it's just gotten worse. Continue to address it and continue to let your viewers know that this is still going on, and guys need to combine forces. All of you guys profit off of interviewing people who are discussing politics in the California Department of Corrections. Every one of you prison channels, you guys should be doing more than what 23-1 did. Fresh Out put a link to CDC's website talking about the thing. Really, like, you're gonna just do it straight from their website and listen to what they have to say? You know that the COs are crooked. You're talking about the COs are crooked, but you're going to put something on your YouTube channel that is basically written by the COs? Like, come on, Fresh Out. You can do better than that, man. For real.
King Smog, like, comment, and you know you gotta shoot me a sub, man.